Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining me in this video. This is Tuesday, the 23rd day of December 2025. Right from the day when Donald J. Trump, the president of the US, made the famous statement about Nigeria that he is going to come into the disgraced country and wipe away the Islamic terrorists who are killing his cherished Christians, according to him. A lot of people received this news with mixed reactions. So many people said, no, what is he coming to do? Is he coming to steal our oil? Is he coming to destabilize Nigeria? And so on and so forth. There are narratives upon narratives, and different people reacted differently. But there is something very important that we actually have to put our shoes into. You know, if you are 11 in your family and 7 of you have been killed by these Islamic terrorists, you will not be part of the people who are saying that America's intervention is not going to yield any fruit, or it's not necessary, or we should not hope on the US intervention. Everybody should go and defend their land. You know, those words sound so good, defending yourself. But nobody will tell you that people who defended themselves are just on a roll to be executed because they defended themselves against these Islamic, murderers. I'm talking about Sunday Jackson. You know him. And Sunday Jackson is not just a person. Sunday Jackson is a story that everybody in Nigeria is facing. You defend yourself against these people. The same government who are supporting these murderers will make sure that you will not see the light of the day. So in this midst of, I will call it anarchy because this is lawlessness. Are you still going to continue to rely on the same government who are arming the terrorists to come and defend you? Now, this is where it gets interesting. When this issue of Christian genocide and American intervention started happening, Nuhu Ribadu, the national security advisor, went to US and met some prominent persons in the US. And he promised to disarm the Fulani militias in Nigeria who are killing people, especially in Benue and Plateau State. But it is surprising to know that the same Nuhu Ribadu returned from US and carried AK-47 and give to some Bororo Fundanis that the military arrested in Kwara State. And his office admitted that they gave AK-47 to these people. Now, the question I'm putting forth to everyone is this. Ribadu don't have power to carry AK-47, and he also, put forth AK-47 to people. This is lawlessness, and they goes free for it. But go and carry even pump passion to defend yourself. They will sentence you if you don't even have the license. And you getting the license is at their own discretion. They can say they are not giving you a license. So because of all these issues surrounding, Nigerian insecurity situation, that is what makes a lot of people to now focus on international, interventions. It's not because the people just love it overnight. When you are faced with two evil, you choose the lesser one. Yesterday, being the 22nd day of December, Reuters published this exclusive UX conducting surveillance flights over Nigeria after Trump intervention threats. I reported this last month, so this is not the first time the US is carrying out surveillance flight. In fact, this is the 7th consecutive times collecting data, and they have been doing all those things. Now, the issue here is very simple. A lot of people are saying that US is delaying. US is not coming. US will not come where they don't have interest. US is that. By the way, US come or US did not come. I think the message here is very simple. But I know that it will be of the advantage of the poor masses, advantage of the victims, if US successfully carried out their intervention February 2026. Now, the issue here is not complicated at all. I have been following really more and some committees in appropriation that Donald J. Trump always hand this issue of Nigeria to. And they are not hiding communication to the public. They have been telling the public how they are going. And recently, Ronald more communicated after visiting Nigeria that he have a scheduled meeting with Donald J. Trump in January 2026. Yes, I understand the situation. I understand that people needed this urgent because people are dying every day. That is the truth. Like I said before, you can only think otherwise because you have not died. Your mother have not been killed. Your mother have not been raped. Your sisters have not been raped. Your families have not been wiped out. You are not in IDP camp. That is why you can come here and defend rubbish. Okay? But to those people, if you can put yourself in their shoes, you can understand the kind of situation they are facing. You will understand that Trump's intervention is like the last hope of these people. It is the last hope of these people because If Trump's intervention fails, the only option left is carry arms and defend yourself. I'm telling you this for truth. If Trump's intervention fails, you will see that people will carry arms and defend themselves. Okay? So, people who are even anticipating for Trump's intervention, they are good people because they don't want the state of anarchy. They don't want more people to die. So this is the situation on the ground. And as you can see, exclusive US conducting surveillance flight over Nigeria after Trump intervention threat. Now, this is the details. December 22nd, Reuters. The US has been conducting intelligence gathering flights over large parts of Nigeria since late November, according to flight tracking data and current and former US officials, in a sign of increased security cooperation between the countries. Reuters could not determine what information the flights are meant to obtain, but the flights in West Africa follow US President Donald Trump's threat in November to militarily intervene in Nigeria over what he says is his failure to stop violence targeting Christians communities. Okay, the flights also are occurring just months after a US pilot working for a missionary agency was kidnapped in the neighboring Niger. The US contractor-operated aircraft used for the surveillance operation typically takes off from Ghana and flies over Nigeria before returning to Accra, the Ghanaian capital, the tracking data for December shows. Flights tracking data shows the operator is a Mississippi-based Tenax Aerospace, which provides special mission aircraft and works closely with the US military, according to the company's website. Tenax Aerospace did not respond to a request for comment. The article continues, but let me stop here. So, what Reuters is confirming is that the information we have been giving you since about the United States, aircraft, conducting surveillance all over Nigeria, especially the northern Nigeria, is true. Let me give you this simple information. America knows that the terrorists are not going to stop. The America is aware that the Nigerian government are colluding with them, that the Nigerian government can't stop them. Now, pay attention. If people who just entered into the US through visa, some of them, they came there to seek asylum, and look at what they are doing, trying to turn US into another thing. And Trump just designated like Muslim Brotherhoods as terrorist organization. Look at what is happening in Australia. Look at what is happening in Germany, Italy, UK, Sweden, all these countries. You would understand that this is a global problem. So the US is aware of the global trend of insecurity that is tied to all these Islamic extremists. Now, for more clarity purposes, when you look at all these things going on from around the world, all this Al-Qaeda, Boko Haram, ISWAP, and so on and so forth, we have so many Islamic clerics who are in love and in support with them. Like what Sheikh Gumi said, that Boko Haram are their freedom fighters. And he is not lying. Okay, because Boko Haram said that their mission is to bring Sharia, which is the will of Allah, to Nigeria. ISWAP said, no, it's not only Nigeria. This is West Africa issue. We have to, Islamize the West Africa. So ISWAP broke away from Boko Haram and they called it Islamic State of West African Province, ISWAP. The mission is simple. The US knows this. And the US understands that if Nigeria continues like this, I promise you, by 2028, if Nigeria continues like this, Nigeria did not break, Nigeria did not, blow up. By 2028, please save this video. You see how the whole southwest Nigeria down to Ogun State will be under Sharia. It's going to happen. The strategy is very simple. They have achieved 70% of it. Okay? And I don't think the South and the East can resist the pressure if the whole other part of the country bows to Sharia. The pressure is going to be much. Now, the last thing I'm going to say in this video is this. I'm a kind of person that don't think now and all. I have so many people around me who want me to think about now. What is the urgent solution now? What do we do now? What do we do this now? Don't you think we need a good leadership now? Don't you think we need a good president now? No, I don't think about now. Why do you want me to think about now? I have children. What will happen to my next two generations? I want you to think. If you are thinking about now, what will happen to your next two generations? after you must have died, are you going to continue to fight forever like this? No, God forbid. God forbid. So these are the situations that I'm actually trying to stress and put in the mentality of everyone. We must be able to stand up and solve this problem and solve it once and for all. After about getting to 200 years now, after the then, Osman Danfodio fight to Islamize Nigeria, to conquer Nigeria by the Fulani Caliphate, and they couldn't succeed, that's supposed to be a red flag that this is not one, that these people are not supposed to be one. Now, I advocate that Africa should use like one passport, one currency, if possible, one military. But it should not be done that everybody is staying in one country. Look at the European Union. The European Union is like one country, but we have Italy, Luxembourg, Germany, Austria, and so many countries, France, they are all in European Union. One currency, free travel, free trade on around, they share intelligence, but they cannot be one country. So that is my knowledge and ambition that this is where Africa is supposed to be. Look at the AES. Look at the way they are doing. Different countries, but they are trying to have one passport, one currency, one military. So disintegrating Nigeria into like 10 countries, 7 countries is not a bad thing. It has nothing to do with African unity. Africa can still unite. Why every nation, every language have their own country. This is the only way or only part where people can actually war against all this caliphate. I know what Ghana did to these people. When they came to Ghana, I know what Ghana did to them. If these people enter Benin Republic today, because Cotonou is like an independent country, they will fight them. But in Nigeria, the government are colluding. You should understand my language. Nobody will fight them. It's a lie that anybody will fight them. Forget about this appointment. This one will fight, this one will fight. 4 years, the person is out of office. Then you need a good president. You need a powerful president. Then after 4 years, what happened? Think generational. I hate to think now. I think generational. What is going to happen in the future? I'm of the opinion that Nigeria should do what they have to do now. Divide this country. I don't get to know. People will tell me, what about people who are in the north who are being persecuted? If you fail to understand what I'm saying, you will be like them in a few years to come. Don't say that I did not tell you. If you fail to understand what I'm saying now, in the next 2-3 years, you will be like Benue Glad. There is no mathematics that is going to solve the equation of them not conquering you. Don't say it is impossible. Study how Turkey was conquered, Iran. Study how it was taken over. Afghanistan. Study how it was taken over. Lebanon. Study how it was taken over. And I leave you with these last words from Sani Yerima.
Well, you see, people don't know what Sharia is all about. First of all, Sharia is the principles and practice of Islam. You can't separate Sharia from Islam. They are one and one. So any Muslim who tells you that he doesn't want to live his life according to Sharia, then he's not a Muslim.
Do you think Nigeria should become a Sharia nation?
That is my ambition, and that is the ambition of every Muslim in this country.
So, as a leader, governor, chairman, president, you are expected to run your affairs with the dictates of Sharia. So, as a leader, governor, chairman, president, you are expected to run your affairs with the dictates of Sharia.
Item 62 says National Assembly shall not make any law that affects Islamic law. This second schedule. So this amendment is against second schedule, item 60.
Well, you see, people don't know what Sharia is all about. First of all, Sharia is the principles and practice of Islam. You can't separate Sharia from Islam. They are one and one. So any Muslim who tells you that he doesn't want to live his life according to Sharia, then he's not a Muslim, because he doesn't even know what is Islam. If you are a Muslim, you have to live your life according to the dictates of Sharia. From the time you are born up to the time you will marry, the relationship between you and your parents, when you are small, your responsibility to them or their responsibility to you, the relationship between you and your wife, if you marry, how you will marry, your responsibility to your wife, then your responsibility to the neighbors, to the entire society, is all defined under Islam, under Sharia. That is what is called Sharia. It is not just the capital punishment that people are talking about. This is just part of one aspect of Sharia. The major aspect of Sharia is called mu'amala. That is how you relate to human beings, other human beings, even animals. There are ways we have to cut and kill our animals. There are ways you enter toilet. There is way you come out of toilet. So everything in Islam is defined under Sharia. So it's a code of life for Muslims. So as a leader, governor, chairman, president, you are expected to run your affairs with the dictates of Sharia.